All right. Hi, my name is Jules, and I am the creative director at AGM Agency. I am also a messenger bot builder, although my primary task is creative director. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a multi-channel nurture message inside of Messenger using ManyChat. All right, so first, what is a nurture message? So the word nurture is defined as care for and encourage the growth or development of. When it comes to nurture messages, these are meant to educate, grow, and develop the interests of prospects or leads. These messages can be educational, entertaining, informative, helpful, etc. Their purpose is to warm the person up to a point where they are more likely to actually purchase from you. The idea is to, get that person. It's kind of like when you meet somebody like a new friend, or possibly when you go on a date with someone, you're trying to learn a little bit more about them, and you're essentially nurturing them. You're warming them up to the point where maybe eventually, you find out that you're a good fit. You really like this other person, and possibly you want to get married or whatever. You want to move in together, whatever the next step is. So that's the idea with the nurture message, is you want to develop that relationship in a way that is educational, entertaining, informative, helpful, etc. All right. So here's some general examples of nurture messages. So you could have tips related to your industry or product. You could have a fun quiz that teaches something. Maybe it's entertaining. You could have more information about a particular topic, of course, related to your industry. Maybe a do-it-yourself type of thing related to your industry or product. Maybe it teaches you teaches the person how to do something. Those are all general examples. So I'm going to do some specific examples now based on different industries. So here's some specific examples of nurture messages for a beauty company. So one could be 5 ways to make your skin glow, the truth about face wash, how to apply makeup for a flawless finish, how to fix split ends, 3 tips to reduce oily skin. And this could go on and on. Google is a great resource for this. If you don't have any ideas, you could always look for words that are related to your industry. Some words for a beauty company might be skin, hair, makeup, etc. And you could just add the word tips behind it, and that'll bring up a ton of results. As a note, don't ever copy somebody else's text exactly. Just use it as inspiration to write your own. But there are a ton of ideas thanks to Google. All right. So here's some examples for a healthcare or supplement company. 3 ways to improve energy, the best supplements to improve your mood, 3 5-minute exercises you can do at home, 5 tips to help you lose weight, the secret to feeling your best, etc. Here's some for a local carpet cleaning company, like a service. At-home remedies for carpet stains, 3 best types of carpet for kids and pets, how to remove pet odors from your carpets, how often should you replace carpet, the history of carpets. You can really get creative with these, but again, Google is your friend. You can always look at carpet or flooring tips, and that will probably help you generate some ideas. All right, so here are some ideas for an online sports apparel company. So 3 easy workouts you can do at work, the best foods to eat before you work out, the history of sports apparel. I don't know what that would be, but it could be interesting. The 3 most misunderstood machines at the gym. How well do you know the names of these muscle groups? That could be a quiz. All right, so if you're stuck on ideas, use Google. This was just something that I typed in, ways to improve energy. You could also do increase energy tips. Of course, it depends on what your industry is, but you could say ways to improve your skin, ways to whatever, and you'll find a ton. Look at that. This is at 1 billion, 1.3 billion results. So I'm sure you'll get a ton of ideas from that. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to actually create a multi-channel nurture message inside of ManyChat. And let's get on to that. All right, so before I get to the part where we put together the actual nurture message, I'm going to show you the setup for the conditions that will check whether or not the person has engaged with your channel. I have it here just by itself, and I'm just going to show you. I'm going to break it down to show you how to set this up. So first of all, when you open up a new flow, it's going to look like this. It's going to have just a blank message. So instead of that, we're actually just going to connect it to a new condition. Let me get rid of that. Whoops. Okay, good. I did it. All right, so for this one, we're going to want it to check first for the messaging window. Oh, here it is. I totally didn't spell that, but there it is. Okay, so the messaging window segment, and we want it to match this one right here. So it is under 24 hours is what we want. Then if that's the case, if they have been engaging within 24 hours, then we want to send them a messenger message. So you want to click on that. Now we wanted to check for a couple other conditions. So the next one, so as you can see, this is what was here already. Let me just move this over here. Oops. All right, so if the user doesn't match any of these conditions, as in they have not interacted with the channel within 24 hours, we're going to have it go to another condition. Click on condition, and we're going to type in phone. I have a microphone in front of me, so it's a little hard to see where I'm typing, but so phone has any value. So it's going to check if there's any phone in the system already. If it does, actually I'll set that up in a second. Let's just do this part first. Okay, so there's a couple things. So phone has any value, and we're also going to check phone. Oh no, I think it's opted in for SMS. There it is. Okay, good. Now let me just double check something here. So all of the following conditions. All right. So there's a couple things you should know. When you have a condition, it will automatically default to all of the following conditions. For this case, it does work. So we want to make sure that it says all of the following conditions. Again, it defaults to it, so you don't really have to worry about it. So great. So we have the condition set up for the phone and SMS part of things. It's going to check for that. And then we're going to set up another one here. If the user does not match that the phone conditions that we just set, we're going to say if not, check another condition, and now we're going to look for email. Is there an email in the system? So email has any value. All right, now we're also going to see whether or not they opted in for email. Okay, so those are both there now, and this matches what was here before. And I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. Whoop. Okay. Now, so like I said, we're starting at the beginning here. It's going to check whether or not they engage within 24 hours. If they did, we're going to send them a messenger message. If that's not the case, it's going to check whether or not we have a phone on file and whether or not they opted in for SMS. And that's a sort of something that gets set someplace else when you're doing lead generation. So, all right. So if this is true, we have a phone on file and we do have them marked as opted in for SMS. We're going to click here and you're going to select send SMS. All right. Now, if that is not the case, our last ditch effort here is to send them an email. So this means that they would have an email on file and then they did opt in for email. So what we're going to do is click on the little circle and then click on send email. And then you have your template right there. So this is what we're going to start off with. This is our blank canvas. And on to the next step where I'm going to walk you through actually creating the nurture messages here. All right, so we are going to start with the messenger message. And I'm just making up a subject here. I'm going to go with the general topic of health just because it's pretty easy to do that. And what we're essentially going to do is we're going to sort of copy this message and use it, like repurpose it for SMS and email. And the main purpose of SMS and email is to get them back into Messenger and engaging with your channels. So although you can just have it end there and go to a website or something, but the primary purpose is to get them back into Messenger. So what I have here now, it just says hello, first name. And in case you're totally new to ManyChat, to add the first name, you just click on these little things here and click on first name and it'll plug it in right there. Just be careful not to select last name or full name. I always think that looks funny if it has their full name there. All right, so it says hello, whatever the first name is. Today I'm going to share 3 ways you can increase your energy naturally. Are you ready to find out what they are? Just click the button below. Now, this is an important note. Like, you can put an entire message here and it just ends. But again, the purpose, the main thing you want to do with this first messenger message is you want them to actually engage with your channel, which is why I put that extra step of like click the button to then see what it is I'm about to share with you. So I'm going to go ahead and create that button. move my microphone. Okay. Okay, so you can put, yes, I'm ready. You can throw in an emoji there. Maybe something like that. Okay. You don't have to put an emoji. I just like to. It's just personal preference because I think it brings more attention to the button itself. Another important note, something that I have noticed when it comes to Messenger, not everybody is super familiar with how these Messenger bots work. So I always try to put like at least one little pointing finger, but usually it ends up with three just to be really clear on what I need that person to do. All right, so we have that button there, and I'm going to go ahead and just start building this out. And that's as simple as to do that. You just click here and then select send message. I didn't explain what I was doing, but and I'm going to go ahead and just build out this message, and I will be right back. All right, so I put one in already. So all it says is, all right, here's the first tip, control your stress, and then there's some text there. Just as a note, I did get this from a website. Oh, look at that, from Harvard. Never, ever, ever copy text exactly. I'm just doing this for the sake of an example, but Google, articles like this are a great source of inspiration for these types of messages, but always, have it written in your own words. You can have somebody else recreate it. Just, you definitely don't want to copy it exactly. So I'm putting it here again, just for the sake of example, but this is where you'd want to type in your own tip. Or reword it at least, and then use that to build your nurture message. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this set of tips up, and then I'll continue with the next step here. Actually, before I build out this whole thing, I'm going to show you a quick tip on how to make this faster, especially for this type of nurture message where you have a few tips and they're going to click through them. This format is what you're going to use for all three of your tips. So in this case, I'm doing 3 ways, although technically I could share all 9, but I'm going to just do 3 tips. So all you need to do is just click that to copy it. You're going to, of course, have to change the text, update the acknowledgement there and say, here's the next tip, like so. And then you're going to want to update this text here so that it makes sense. But that's just a quick and easy way. Here's the last one. Okay, good. So that's just a quick and easy way to get the format right the first time. That way you can literally just connect them up like this. Otherwise, you have to recreate it from the ground up, and this just makes it super, super simple. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll show you. All right, so I added the rest of the tips, and like I did before, I changed the top text a little bit so that it made sense. So we have these 3 tips: control your stress, exercise daily, and drink water. With the text, again, don't ever copy from somebody else's site. Just filling this in for the sake of this particular training here. But so what we have here is tip number 1, control your stress, and then they read that. Ready to see the next one, just tap the button below. Next tip. All right, here's the next tip. 2, exercise daily. They read that. Ready to see the next one, just tap the button below. They click on that. Cool, here's the last one. Drink water. And they read that, and then it says, all right, first name, that's all I've got for you today. Hope you found those tips helpful. Stay tuned for more health tips. This is just some pro advice here, but if you have more to your channel, like if you have some free resources or any, what do they call them? Any kind of lead magnets or that's not the word I'm looking for. But if you have other stuff that people can go look at in your channel, or even, you could redirect them to your website. But the idea is to kind of keep them in your channel and kind of like engaging. You can always add something here. For example, you can say, in the meantime, click on one of the buttons below to, whoops, goodness, to explore my channel. Okay. And then you could add buttons to always do with little fingers. Hold on. And then you can add buttons to various flows. So let's just say theoretically that you had Get Healthy mini course. Let's see, Get Healthy mini course. Does that fit? Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, let's say Get Healthy course. Okay, and maybe you connect that up to a flow inside of your channel that is the Get Healthy course. So, and that keeps them engaging and stuff like that. But in this case, I don't actually have that. That's just a pro tip for anyone who has more on their channel to keep the person engaged. All right. So the next step here, now that I've already structured this message here, we're going to work on the email and the SMS. I'm actually going to start with email first. It's a little easier. So this is super simple. You don't actually have to put an image, but if you have a like a header, I'm going to go ahead and just plug something in here as an example. If I even have anything. Okay, I don't, but I'm going to go ahead and just put my Minecraft image and just pretend that that's your logo or your email header. This was just an image inside of Minecraft. Okay, so definitely don't use that unless your channel is all about Minecraft. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this text. And to do that, I'm clicking on Control A. I'm going to right click and click on copy. And there's a reason why I'm doing that. If you try to do Control C, it may copy the entire content block and then it just gets annoying. So again, just click in that inside that content bar or the text there, click on Control A, right click, copy. That seems to be the best way of doing this. This is like a headline type of text. Yeah, you don't have to have that. I don't normally use it myself, but you can just put your message here. Same message. You don't have to do anything else. Just might as well repurpose it. So today I'm going to share 3 ways you can increase your energy naturally. Are you ready to find out what they are? Just click the button below. It's going to default to open in Messenger. You might as well just keep it like that. So what we're going to do here is, whoops. So I'm going to go ahead and move these over. By the way, if you want to do that with yours, if you're ever wanting to like move things around like a group of things, like normally you can just do one. To move a group, you got to click on Shift and then click and highlight the ones you want to move. Okay, and then you can move them around. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like that. And now I am going to, whoops. Okay, so I'm going to connect this button to go back into Messenger, but before, I'm not going to connect it directly to this. What I normally like to do is welcome them back to the channel. So I'm going to click on that little dot there, click on send message, and I'm going to say, hello, first name, welcome back to my Messenger channel. Whoops. And just maybe put a little smiley face in there. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it over to this first message. Now that actually reminds me of another thing I like to do. You don't have to, but I do like to put the typing. So I'm actually going to just put a little buffer there in between. I'm actually going to change that to 5. 5 is actually my preferred typing or delay or whatever. But the reason for that, the reason why I added this one up here is that if you don't, this message, hello, welcome back to my channel, and I'll write here's the first tip will show up at the same time. I just like to make it a little bit more conversational to show, to make it seem a little bit more like the person is, or like the bot is typing, I guess. But it's really just a personal preference, nothing super important. Okay, so now that we've plugged in this message here, again, replace that with your header, not a Minecraft screenshot unless that's relevant. And we're going to go ahead and add the subject here. So let's go ahead and just use 3 ways you can increase your energy. 3 ways to increase your energy. Or you could say, feeling sluggish. Here are 3 ways you can increase your energy. And I'm going to put, for the pre-header, sometimes I don't really know what to put here, but you can put text, like sort of to give them an idea of what's inside. But here's a easy way of doing this. You can just find a GIF. I mean, not a GIF, sorry, an emoji, and just plug that in there. Like that's the easy way of doing this. All right, so we have our subject, we have our pre-header, and we've got the body of the email. You may want to also end with a signature. Let's just say we're ABC Health. Oh, goodness, if I could do it right. Okay. ABC Health Inc. Okay, great. So that's going to get them to go back into Messenger. We're going to say, welcome back to my Messenger channel. We're going to reuse the same set of steps. I'm going to click publish. Okay, now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. There's a couple ways of doing this, and I'm going to explain both, and then I'm going to tell you why I'm doing one thing a particular way. So the easy way of doing this is to literally use this same text here. Again, I copy it here. Now, when it comes to text messages, it's not, they're not going to know who the text message is from necessarily, because unless they save the number in their phone, you're not gonna see it. So, or they're not gonna know who it's coming from. So it's good to say hello, first name, your brand name or your name, ABC Health Inc. here. Okay, that way they know who it is. Put a little waving hand. Okay, so today I'm going to share 3 ways you can increase your energy naturally. Are you ready to find out what they are? And then you don't want to say button because you don't have a button. So just click here to find out. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to link to another step. This is going to automatically create a like a short link type of thing, and then you can connect it to your messages inside of Messenger. So the only way to do this, you can't really click on a little button or anything. You're going to have to click on send message. Then you're going to have to grab that little dot and then drag it over here. Again, welcome them back to the channel. So that's the easy way. But the only problem with this is that at least we like to put a reminder in every message that they have an option to unsubscribe. And the only way to do that in this kind of scenario is to have a second message, and you could say reply stop to stop, just to avoid like spam complaints, just like if they want to get out, just, show them the door, but you need to remind them because people won't necessarily remember that, and then they'll get mad. And anyways, so this is one way to do it, but it just, I don't really like the idea of having a separate text message come in. I like to have it kind of like all as one. So, the way to avoid this type of setup with a separate text message is actually to create a separate flow in a bit.ly. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how to do that. So let me first start by deleting this. We're not going to use that setup. I'm also going to delete this. I'm going to put my message here, reply stop to stop. And here, right here is where I'm going to be putting the link, a bit.ly link actually, and that will connect them to a separate flow. Let me go ahead and click publish. So in order to do that, I have so many tabs open here. In order to do that, let's go ahead and open a new tab here. Okay, good. So we're going to go to flows. By the way, ignore this name here. That's just a placeholder. I don't know why we decided to use that, but go to flows, click on new flow, and then you can name it with, hold on. I don't have a way to edit the name of this, but whatever the name of your nurture message will be, regardless, I just do like name of flow, whatever the flow is, from SMS flow. Okay. And so that's just basically telling me that this is the flow that people from SMS are going to get. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of this. Again, that's shift. Click on shift and then highlight the ones you want to copy. For whatever reason, you have to wiggle them around and then click on control copy. Go back to your from SMS flow, paste it here. And we're going to connect the first step. I'm going to get rid of that. Oh no, I can't do that. Do this. There. So now the starting step is connected to this welcome message. It has the same message here. And last but not least, we need to create a ref URL. This is a link that will take the person directly to this flow. Copy the URL to your clipboard. Go to bit.ly. Click on create. Put it in there. Create. Click on copy. All right, so click publish. That's really important. Otherwise, that ref URL won't work. Now we're back at the original flow. We're going to go back to our SMS section here, content block thingy. Put the link in there. This will, by the way, ManyChat will change that into sort of like a ManyChat short link. I don't know why that is, but regardless, it'll still be a short link, which will connect to this flow that we just made, which is a duplicate of the message. It's the only way to do that if you want to keep this section there. Okay, click on publish. All right, so let's see, do we have everything here? Oh, that reminds me. So in regards to reducing the amount of potential spam reports, like I said before, it's good to remind the person how they can where the exit is if they want to go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add a button that says unsubscribe. And then your channel should already have, like, I believe this is a default flow, but you can connect to your unsubscribe flow. And to do that, click on this button, click on start flow, and just literally search for unsubscribe. Okay, unsubscribe from bot. You may have more than one. Just make sure that the channel uses Facebook channel. Like you want to make sure it's that. Sometimes there can be another one, depends on what you've created, but there can be another one that's only SMS, and you definitely don't want somebody unsubscribing in Messenger and then getting a text message that they unsubscribe. It just wouldn't really make sense. Plus, it wouldn't work if they didn't have a phone number on file. So, all right. So now we have our intro message for SMS for people who have interacted with the channel. Then we have SMS for people who have a phone number that didn't interact with the channel within 24 hours. That will bring them back into the channel using that flow, that separate flow I created. And then we have an email for anyone who doesn't have a phone number. We do have their email to bring them again back into the channel. And that is basically it for a nurture message. That's basically the easiest way to make a multi-channel nurture message. And then you can just plug that into your nurture sequence, which I'll probably have to make a separate video for that. So I hope that was helpful.